Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you. And before we start, as always, if you can give me a like and consider subscribing to this channel if you find this information helpful or informative. Okay, today we have a Powr Kraft 482000T Ratchet. And Powr Kraft was a brand of Montgomery Ward. Montgomery Ward was like a department store. Maybe a while back, maybe in the 80s. Don't know when they went out of business, but they were pretty prolific. I don't remember them. I'm from the Northeast, and I'm not sure if they were here, but that's not one of the names I remember in department stores. But I don't know. It could have been in this part of the country, but I don't think so, because I remember a lot of department stores, but Montgomery Ward wasn't one of them. Okay, this is Powr Kraft by Montgomery Ward, but this ratchet was made by Thorsen. I can tell. If you've seen enough ratchets, you can tell who made what. And this is definitely a Thorsen. Funny thing about Powr Kraft is they don't mark the country on at least two ratchets I've seen. They haven't had a country of origin, but I can tell this is USA Thorsen. And another ratchet I did a review on and teardown a few weeks ago was this other Powr Kraft 84W4843, and this ratchet was made by Wright, and as you see here, it doesn't have USA on it, but I can tell this is definitely made by Wright USA. And I've seen at least one other Powr Kraft from another company, Indestro. They made a ratchet for Powr Kraft also. So Powr Kraft was a brand that had quite a few tool makers making tools for them. Quite a few American nameplate tool makers. So okay, let's take a look what's inside. I already took the coil ring off of this. It's just the typical coil ring you've seen already hundreds of times. And you just push up on the anvil. And here is the head. This is pretty well done. It's well centered. The drilling for the teeth when they drilled through, and they made a lip here for the switch side of the mechanism. You can see the teeth there. They look pretty good. This is kind of a coarse ratchet, not too coarse. It's 36 teeth on this ratchet. See, this ratchet seems like it didn't get much use. As you can see, the teeth are pretty nice. Here's the mechanism. Typical Thorsen mechanism. It has one paw with three teeth per side of the paw. It's a pretty decent sized paw, pretty big, pretty beefy, which is a good sign. And to take this apart, what I do is I take a pick and I push down on the plunger, and see if I could do it on this side better. I push down the plunger and I try to get a nail. Try to get a nail in between the switch here and the body of the mechanism once I push the plunger down. And then from here you just shimmy it out, and be careful because the plunger is under spring tension and the switch is drilled all the way through, so there's going to be a spring going this way and a plunger going that way. Let's see if I can take this out without it flying all over the place. I try to cover all the holes as much as possible with my fingers and just move it out. Okay. Here's the switch. Typical Thorsen is drilled through. It's drilled all the way through the switch, so the spring comes out, goes in through here, and the plunger goes in through there. Has this protrusion, so it goes in one way. The plunger, if the plunger is here on top, it goes in that way. You don't want to put it in this way with the plunger over here and the spring down there and this protrusion on the bottom. You want to have it on top like that with the plunger on top. Here's the switch. It's typical cast switch, nothing too special. Here's the plunger. This plunger is a little bit different. It's not hollow. It has a protrusion on the bottom, and that protrusion, there's a spring, and that protrusion fits on the spring. Like that. Fits in the coil of the spring, and then it goes into the switch. Here's the pin for the pawl. Decent sized pin, not too bad there. Here's the pawl. The pawl's pretty big. It's pretty decent sized pawl for 3/8. It's chamfered on both sides of the hole. And here's the bottom, and there's a cutout here. And there's like a small lip there. And I think that's where the switch fits in. The protrusion for the switch there. I think it fits in there, and it swings like that. But yeah, like I said, three teeth per side on the pawl. Here's the housing for the mechanism. Pretty nice, pretty decent. Everything looks pretty clean. Cleanly milled, like looks solid, you know, like pretty good job. And to put this together, you take your pawl, you drop it in the housing, you line up the hole, you take your pin, you put it in like that. And now there's always the switch. That's the tricky part. You take your switch, you put the spring and the plunger in there like that. What I do is I take a needle nose which is flat on the inside, no teeth, and I press it down and then hold it there like that, and hold it for dear life because you don't want this stuff to like shoot out. And then you just squeeze it in there. Oh God. No, of course not. I tell you, this is always easier when you're not filming. When you're filming and then nothing wants to go the way it should. Well, there goes the spring. Let me go find that. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Found the spring. Let's try it again. You just mash the spring and the plunger there together like that, and you get it in. And you push it in like that. Okay, you see if it switches. Switching. Now you take your mechanism and you drop with the switch side to where the lip is or the leathers are, like that. You take your coil ring and you open it up a little bit and get it under that lip like that, and you just mash it around that lip like that till it clicks. Make sure it's secure. You see if it's ratcheting. Yep, it's ratcheting. So that's my teardown and review of the Powr Kraft 482000T from Montgomery Ward and made for Montgomery Ward by Thorsen. Okay guys, until next time.